Today doesn't just stir something, it awakens it. There is this pressure building beneath the surface. It's like the moment before the storm breaks. But instead of thunder, it comes through in our emotions. It comes through our intuition, through conversations we didn't plan to have, but suddenly we can't avoid them. The air is thick with truths, with change. It's one of those rare days where everything feels like it's happening at once. The things we've been avoiding, they show up. The words we've been afraid to say, they come out. The emotions we buried, they get loud. And I don't want you to think of the day as chaos. I want you to think of the day as, I don't know, a massive realignment of our heart, of our mind, of the path ahead. And once this energy moves through, nothing we're clinging to out of comfort will feel the same again. If we've been waiting for clarity, it's here. But it might not arrive gently. So pull up a chair, join me, and we will gain an understanding of how to embrace this energy. By the end of our time together, it's my hope, it's my intention that you have the tools, the insight to go forward with a confidence, with clarity, with love. So hi, I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. Thank you for being here. Truly thank you for taking the time out to spend some time with me in my path. Thank you for all of the positive, loving support you send me each and every day. I send it right back to you. You are all on my prayer list. Welcome to your daily focus for June the 9th, 2025. And if you like what I do here, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up or leave a heart in the comments. Let me know you're there. Let me know you appreciate what I do. Tell me what you want to see. Tell me where you can relate to it. Just because you help me so much in wanting to do more for you and wanting to be better for you. So anyways, June the 9th, 2025. So today we have the energy of the 9. The 9 energy is about closure, completions, endings, healing, leaving things in the rearview mirror. And it's not, the 9 energy just doesn't ask us to let go and release. So we're doing it for purpose. We're doing it for a reason. We are understanding where the obstacles are, where the barriers are, where the space is not. And we are making room for our new adventures, our new opportunities, relationships, habits, behaviors, tasks, creative projects, whatever. We want to make room for it. So the 9 energy says be very specific on what you are trying to release on a day of a 9 energy. Okay, because that will work best with if you are making the space for the new beginning, the new start, whatever that new is for you, whatever you are asking to come into your world, become tangible. If we look at the daily numerology, it would be a 6 plus a 9 plus a 9, and that gives us a 24 energy. That's a love energy. That is compassion and understanding and being present in the relationship. And growing those relationships stronger and deeper. And it could be a relationship with a person, but it could also be with an idea. It could be with a new project you're working on, a new business you're starting up, the business you currently have, the work you currently do. And putting the love and the passion back into it, or embracing it, or growing it stronger. 2 plus 4 is a 6 energy, and the 6 energy is about habits, our behaviors, our routines. So this is where we want to shake things up. We want to do things differently. We see where we want the change, where we want the progress, where we want the fresh approach. Sun is in Gemini, and our moon moves into Sagittarius around, I think it's 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, I'm not sure. I apologize. I'm not sure what I was looking at when I did the weekend video. For some reason, I had it in my head that Mercury was going to move into Cancer today, but actually it moved on Sunday night. So, and now today we have Jupiter moving into Cancer. So I won't go into too much depth on this because I was able to get blogs up. So between, I think they both come up by like 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, but there might be one up already. So I tried to spread them out into different days so that you didn't have like tons of reading to do. We want to just get to the chase, right? We don't have time to sit there and read through 20 minutes of stuff. Anyways, so I won't go into depth here. Okay, I got the blogs done. There, I think I just have to do a couple of little tweaks, and one will be up to today. One will be up tomorrow. So most of the information, instead of saying it all here because there's so much to talk about today, will be in the blog. So I'll leave the links below in the description box, and I've also included each zodiac sign and what these energies mean for you in both of the blogs. So check out your sun sign, check out your rising sign. Okay, I leave intentions for you. I take a gander. You'll be happy you did. Okay. On top of that energy today, we also have Mercury squaring Saturn. We have Mercury squaring Neptune. And we have Venus squaring Pluto. So square, square, square. Work, work, work. Hard energy. We're understanding where those walls are, where we want to look away, but we need to look at it and deal with it. And I tell you, none of these energies are easy to walk through on their own, stand alone, but good grief, all at the same time. So let's backtrack. Let's start at the beginning. Mercury entered Cancer last night, and our thoughts start to soften and deepen. It's not about surface level thinking. It's about emotional intelligence. It's about intuitive connections. It's about speaking in a way that not only has clarity and understanding, but it also nourishes in some way. It doesn't just inform. Mercury in Cancer invites us to listen carefully, and not just to others, to ourselves, okay? To the tone behind our words, to the stories underneath the silence. Our minds begin to process the world through an emotional lens. And so we may find ourselves reflecting on the past, remembering what maybe we pushed aside, or, this opens up the energy of maybe finally being able to say the things that we felt we were opening ourselves up too much before. We were making ourselves vulnerable in some way before. And then we have Jupiter going into Cancer. So, and this move won't be dramatic at first, okay? It's going to be there for a year. In fact, I think Jupiter actually flitters out again back into Gemini, finishes up some undone business, and then comes back to Cancer for good. But I think it's about a year. So it does mark the beginning of a long and meaningful chapter in our life, okay? And it's one that will be rooted in emotional truth and healing, personal growth that doesn't need to be loud to be life-changing. Jupiter in Cancer invites us to grow through connection and caring and consistency. It asks us to start measuring our successes differently. Cancer doesn't concern how far we've gone, but how deeply we nourished ourselves and nourished our dreams, and we nourished our relationships and our opportunities and our adventures, our learning experiences, what we're building. Okay, the energy shifts from this outward expansion to an inner alignment. Okay, we're not chasing to the next goal, but we are protecting what is meaningful in our life. And we're just at the beginning stages of this. So make sure that you're checking out also, like, this is the collective energy. We will all feel this in some way, but we'll also feel it differently because of our sun sign. We'll also feel it differently because of our rising sign. So make sure that, pop over to the blog and just find that out, because I want you to have this information and know that for the next year, you may want to get a sticky note and just, put the date on it of when you can rip it down. Maybe I'll leave the dates in there for how long it's going to go for you, so that you can do that sticky note and date it, and put those intentions up and read all those intentions once a day, because that's the energy around you for all these big transits that's happening. Anyways, Mercury in Cancer is very highly intuitive. It speaks from the gut, the soul, the place where our memories live. But when it squares off with both Saturn and Neptune in Aries, okay, that gentle voice, it runs into two very distinct and different walls. One is of a hard reality. One is of this dreamy distortion that we may have. And one part of us wants to be understood. We want to be clear. We want to be responsible. But the other part of us wants to soften everything so we can avoid the harsh truths, so that we can hide away from it till everything clears up. The storm is over. Okay? We have to get real on, we have to get clear on what's real, not what just feels safe. So, over the next several days, start to sort out fact from fear, truth from hope. We will feel deeply, but Saturn insists that we put structure around our feelings. So truth and responsibility will go hand in hand. So we have to pause before we react emotionally, because we will want to. Okay, and Neptune's involvement here can blur the messages a lot. So ground yourself. Don't jump to conclusions. Trust your intuition, but verify your facts. Okay, if something doesn't feel right, doesn't sit right with you, chances are you're right. Okay, but explore it. Don't run with any kind of assumption. Conversations can feel very heavy, and we'll want to run away. We'll want to retreat into silence. We want to avoid it, and don't. Okay, please don't. The discomfort is temporary. The insight will last forever. It will make you into a stronger, more capable, more determined, more self-belief and self-awareness of what you can do going forward. Don't miss these opportunities by trying to run away from it, trying to look away from it. Look it in the eye. Okay, once again, 2 ears, 1 mouth, so we may misinterpret somebody's words. We could not express ourselves clearly, perhaps. That could happen. So clarify, ask, don't assume, practice what you want to say. And then as Venus squares Taurus, Venus in Taurus squares Pluto, okay? And Pluto is in retrograde in Aquarius, right? We're being called to look deeper than our comfort zones. Okay, and it's not the soft nudge, definitely not with Pluto. It's like this mirror that we have to look in. It's deep. Nothing moves unless we move, kind of thing. So we have to ask ourselves. We have to look ourselves in the eye and say, what do I really want? What am I afraid to lose? What have I outgrown that I'm still clinging to? This energy will reach into places we thought were very secure. That could be our relationship, our money, our identity. I mean, it pulls up what's hidden beneath the surface. And because it's retrograde, Pluto's retrograde in all of this, it doesn't show up as some kind of external thing happening. It's within us. And it's powerful. And so we could feel it like there's a tension in the conversation, and we could feel it like there's jealousy in our relationship, or we could feel it like a fear of our money and our money financial situations. And we will have this sudden urge to control something because it feels uncertain. Okay, and really this isn't about us going through a hard time, although it'll seem that way. Okay, it's not a punishment coming on us for something that we've done wrong in the past. It's about our freedom and our liberation. Okay, but first, and this transit helps us so much if we're willing to go with the flow of it. At first, we have to get honest about what's really going on. What is the underlying cause? We have to rip the Band-Aid off and refuse to put that Band-Aid back on. So examine what you are attached to and why you're attached to it. Whether it's a relationship dynamic, a financial pattern, a vision of success. Now's the time to look at what we've been holding on to out of fear. And Pluto doesn't destroy without reason. Okay? Pluto reveals the deeper truths. Venus might be too gentle to face it on her own. So Pluto helps us to dig deep, to find that emotional wound and heal it finally, so that we can feel liberated, so we can feel freer, so we can feel stronger about who we are, and therefore stronger in our steps forward. Okay, identify where you are settling for less. Are you playing small? Because this energy calls you to evolve. And Pluto's retrograde, yes, it turns the mirror inward. So if something is feeling too limiting, tight, I don't know, burdensome, it probably is. It's not just a feeling. We need to directly look at how we can change that. Watch out for sudden emotional eruptions, okay? Jealousy coming in, feelings that we thought we pushed down, they can come out on an energy like today. Pluto pulls out what is unhealed, and it doesn't do it gently. So if we're not willing to just go with the flow and deal with it, Pluto will make it so we have to. It's vital. So don't fight it. Don't try and hide from it, okay? We can make fear-based decisions around this time, okay? Love, money. We can cling to what feels safe, financially, emotionally. So yeah, it's an emotional reckoning kind of day. It begins as tension, confusion in what we feel and what we're allowed to say, and then it deepens into something far more powerful. It exposes where our voice is blocked by fear, by self-doubt, by illusion. And then Venus is square to Pluto, that's going to rip the Band-Aid right off. What we've been pretending is fine in our relationships, in our finances, in our sense of self-worth, it'll all shift. Okay, and then we got Jupiter, okay, marking the beginning of a brand new chapter that centers around our emotional truth, real connection. I mean, it just all comes together. You know, this is a time when abundance isn't actually what looks good on the outside, but what feels right on the inside. This energy is raw, it's revealing, and it asks us to take our time. We're not here to fix it all in one day. We're here to notice. We're here to listen. To let the cracks show us where the real light wants to come in. Okay, Jupiter's entry into Cancer it opens up a cycle of growth that asks, are we willing to nurture what matters most? So today may challenge our boundaries, absolutely. Stir up our fears, absolutely. Make us question what's real, but we can only come back stronger when we go with the flow. It's clearer when we allow to look it back in the eye. And we'll be more devoted on our passions, our dreams, our desires, our goals, to what truly matters going forward. Okay, let's turn to the cards. What do we have under there? Oh, look at that. We had the Empress. It's time to create. It's time to give birth to. It's time to invent. It's time to, and highly intuitive, this card. Also very diplomatic. So we can be very diplomatic. We can be grounded. We can be strong and think through some of our challenges and why those challenges are there. And heal those emotional wounds. And you go, oh, Tilly, there's nothing really that's, I had a good childhood, this, that, the other thing. No, there's something, okay? I cannot recount the many times I've sat in meditation or just quiet inward reflection. And all of a sudden a thought will pop up. And I was like, starting to think about it, and wow, how did I feel during that? And I don't even remember that. Where did that come from? I remember clear as day. I've never even thought about that moment. And it opens you up to understanding why you do some of the things you do, why you say some of the things you say, why you act the way you might act at times, why you like certain things and despise others. Our underlying energy for today, I know it's hard energy and it's coming at us all at once. It's like a blizzard. It's like, a blizzard. Okay, you can't see and you can't really open your eyes because the snow is hitting your face, and so it's just natural to close your eyes. And look at this, underlying energy, the devil. Well, yeah, it's that kind of day. It's hard. It's intense. There'll be a lot of, and it's inward or inner that is a lot of this today because of the Pluto aspect, and also the Cancer. Cancer is about nourishing ourselves and nourishing others and caring and loving and family. And anyways, the devil shows up and the devil says, release what no longer aligns with who you are. Which was a strong part of the astrology. To let it fall away, to let it fall into the fires, to let it be burned to ash. And let us be the phoenix rising out of the ashes of our yesterdays. Because all of our yesterdays, good, bad, ugly, has molded us into the person we are and standing strong. And growing stronger, and maybe we are rebirthing, giving birth to a new sense of self, of who we are, what we deserve, what we put up with, what we walk through that we shouldn't have to, where we might make ourselves smaller, where we find comfort and security in the things that do not allow us to grow. First card, King of Wands. King of Wands. I love the King of Wands. He's impromptu. You never see this guy dressed up in all the royal garb like you see the others. He's kind of, he usually has a hat on or his crown on a little crooked. Even here, he's wearing the crown that's for traveling, not the one to sit on the throne with. He wants to move. He holds that wand in his lap as a balance. That even though he has to move, he knows there needs to be balance in that movement. So he has to really think about whether or not this aligns with him, his goals, his dreams, his desires, your goals, dreams, desires. You are the king here. You've tamed the wild beast. There's no chaos as you go forward because you feel secure in the balance that you have created in order to step into the action and the potential of the moment. And Queen of Cups. This is about loving yourself. This is very much about paying attention throughout the next month. There's several weeks to a month of, well, actually, it could be a year. How you talk to yourself. What you say to yourself. Do you say, oh my gosh, I'm always late? Because you know what? You're just making that solid. You are just putting that into stone. You might as well carve it out, because the more you say it, the more your mind believes it. And your mind will work in a way that will, regardless of how hard you try, you'll be late. If you say, oh my goodness, I'm usually 15 minutes early, your mind will start getting you there earlier and earlier. Try it. Try it on something as simple as that. And just, journal your results, okay? Because that way it'll stay front of mind for you. Something that you do. Something that, this is what you say to yourself. Do you accept compliments when people say, oh, that's a nice sweater? Do you immediately tell them the price point and the thrift shop you got it at? Just say thank you. They are giving you a compliment on your taste, on your wardrobe, on how well you wear it. It's not just the sweater, and it's loving yourself. It's taking time to love yourself and to treat yourself well and to do things for yourself. Nobody else is probably going to do them. You need to do them for you. When you start doing them for you, watch how other people start doing them for you. When you start respecting yourself more, other people just automatically respect you more. When you start loving yourself more, other people will start loving you more. That's how we start the relationships. That's how we grow the relationship stronger. By starting with loving ourselves first. We hold the cup here. We hold the goblet. And right now we are looking at it and we are sitting in a calm reflection of the moment. And we are wondering how we are going to fill that cup. What kind of joys, what kind of passions, what kind of ambitions do we have in sight for ourselves? To walk into, to step into. And it can be anything we want. But we're only going to put in that cup what we do believe we deserve. And trust me when I say each and every one of us, regardless of how much you have mastered this about yourself, we could do better. We could have more. And we have the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is, how do I change things up so that I have balance? What do I need to do? What do I need to instill? Where do I need to put action? Where do I need to have those conversations? Where do I need to forgive myself? Okay, forgive yourself. Where do you need to let go, and where do you need the strong focus, attention, action? And still have balance in your life. How does it affect other parts of my life? If I do this, how does it, I want that promotion. How will it affect other parts of my life? Or I want to go on that trip. How does that affect the rest of my world? Who do I take on the trip with me? Do I take anybody? How much money will I have to save? Does that mean less eating out? How should I start gathering that money? Could I have another money stream going? But that's going to give me more work and more responsibility and obligation. Will I be able to take the trip if I start to put that onto my plate? Or will I suck up my time so that now, even though I can afford to go on that trip, I don't have the time or the energy to go on that trip. And start thinking about what will work. Okay. And yes, it's hard energy, but don't look away from it. Work through it. Go with the flow. If you feel a tear, let it fall. If you feel the anger, let it out. Don't stifle that emotion. This is... revelations will come through honoring your emotion through all of this energy. Whether we're looking at the next several days or we're looking at the next year. This starts the beginning chapter. Okay, what do we got here? Be true to your heart. You can't make this up. Be true to your heart. Look at my garden. Oh my gosh. My nails are constantly, no matter, I must have cleaned them like 3 or 4 times before I got on. And I don't know where the dirt comes from. So I'm going to try and hold the card so you're not grossed out. How's that sound? The 26. I so apologize. Oh my gosh. Be true to your heart. The 26. The 26 is about our prosperity. The 26 is about how we grow prosperity in our lives. Whether that is prosperity in the love we exchange, well, what do you feel abundance truly is to you? See what the book says. But be true to you. You're the main role in this game of life, or this theater of life, or so yes, your opinion should matter most to you before anybody else's. In this moment, draw energies of harmony and union when making a choice. The current situation is best supported by using intuition and not intellect. There may be difficult situations and decisions to be made that are not necessarily about love. Consciously be aware of what interests you, what attracts your attention, what stirs your imagination and creates passion in your life. Do your best to ignore the persuasion of what others might think or say. Trust yourself and don't allow your opinion to be swayed. Trust yourself. You know best for you. Okay, let's see what our animals have to tell us today. And we have let it be. Look at that. Little hedgehog here. Sitting in front of the lotus plant. Okay, so let it be. Lead from the heart. Oh my goodness, the hedgehog. Let's go to the hedgehog. Here we are. Let it be. So, the keywords are release and time out. Just saying. With the past, I have nothing to do, nor the future. I live now. Hedgehog reminds you to stop putting so much fear into your life and instead just let it be. Sometimes when we give our issues breathing room, it corrects itself. When we experience fear, frustration, we immediately tense up our body, our mind, our spirit, which hinders the flow of what we want to come to us. We begin to visualize everything that we don't want instead of what we do. So shift your thoughts to what you want, not what you don't. There's a lesson in every life test, even though it can be painful. By being grateful instead of angry, the weight of emotion will begin to gently heal and release itself from your grip. Therefore, if you're experiencing frustration or fear with any aspect of your life, and trust me when I say, there'll be something. There'll be something that pops. Career, money, love, etc. Take a few moments each day visualizing how you would want that area in your life to look. And when you begin to say negative things like, I'll never have the money to do the things I want, say to yourself, stop. I just find it hilarious that they just repeat everything that I said, which is great because it's my validation that when we pull these cards like this. when you begin to say negative things like, I will never have the money to do the things I want, say to yourself, stop, and then repeat what you do want. I have enough money to do the things I want. It takes some training, but before you know it, the things you don't want will begin to stop happening. The things that you do want will start flowing. You can't hitchhike on someone else's life, and if you do, you just might get pricked. Instead, you must find your own way and do the work yourself. There is always someone there to help light the lantern, but it is you who must keep the flame lit. Always know that there are those who believe in you, and with every dream accomplished, even every dream failed. Remember, the most important thing for you is to continually dream the dream, no matter what. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you. I'm just in awe of how Spirit works. I love you.